Well, I'm here with Mr. Wise McGriff and Mr. Sammo. We're on this Sammyo. My bad, yeah, because people will make a mistake in that, right? Sammyo, my bad. Didn't mean to mess up anything. But we're here today. Could you tell us what is your purpose, or what is your purpose here today, Mr. McGriff?
Just to support limitless entertainment, because there's no limit. You said to your entertainment, whether it's music, fashion, film, spoken word, so whatever you're doing.
All right. What is your relationship with Mr. Sammyo?
Childhood friend, somebody that watched me come in and out of the clubs when I was too young to be there, because he's a little bit older than I. But I was trying to. I gotta say, at that particular time in life, I was making the wrong choices. Trying to hang around the older crowd, which I should not have done, which was a part of my demise, but now he's a part of my success.
Mr. Sammyo, what do you think Mr. McGriff's impact and from what he learned from you on the industry has been?
A great impact, because he turned into a great man. I don't say that about too many men, but he's a great man, and he came back and reached back into the community to pull anybody that he can help. So,
Yeah. Okay. As far for those who don't know, could you give us a little bit of background on your like how you started on whatever it is that how you started when you met Mr. McGriff?
Oh, I was in the streets. When I met him, I was in the streets. Fast life, because everybody is choices. You have choices, but like I tell people, when I wrote the book, is because everybody don't choose to go. I mean, we choose. That's the only choice we have. We're given. So that's why I wrote the book. But when I met Mr. McGriff, he was a successful person in the street, as well as a successful person for school and all that. He was younger than me, but you could tell he had the tools to be great.
Okay. Mr. Wise, or would you rather people refer you to Mr. Wise or Mr. McGriff?
It don't matter, I'm still me.
Okay. Could you explain to those who don't know what the meaning of the Team Supreme is?
Team stands for together, everyone acquires more. Because when you stick together, instead of always trying to be a selfish individual, because when you be selfish, you're going to end up selfless. But when you stick together as a team, life will be supreme.
Word up. As far as your time at Def Jam, how have you seen the industry change for the worse or for the better from then till now?
Music has saturated for the worst, because music nowadays is not based on substance. They're not talking about social values and skills. They're not talking about education, politics. Everything is about degrading people, not just degrading women, but it's sending out the wrong messages to kids. They have one saying that children are the future, but if this is what the future's coming to, then man, we done shot the shit. Look at my passion for music that came when I was a kid. The local DJ inside my neighborhood, who was also my family, Grandmaster Vic, he was the guy that had created blending. He had took R&B and had blended it to hip hop to make people fast dance to a slow song. And then when I became a part of the industry, I had a chance to meet the likes of Grandmaster Cash, who was documented as being the very first ghostwriter. He actually had wrote the rhyme that Sugar Hill Gang had misappropriated. I won't say stolen. I'll just say that they had misappropriated the lyrics and tried to make it their own. Then I had the chance to work with a whole lot of pioneers, the ones that had actually started the industry. I will forever be grateful. Childhood friend of mine named Bimmy, who's actually Waka Flocka's uncle. Great friend, that's my extended family. It was Bimmy that had introduced me to Russell Simmons. It was Bimmy that got me a job at Def Jam. So I will never negate, the friendship that I have with my brother. Then we have a twin brother named Joe. Joe and I partnered up to have a cognac company that's called Premise. PremiseBeverages.com. That's the website for those that just may want to look it up to find out exactly how can you purchase it. Then I gotta say, I gotta speak about the Furtado brothers, Lance and Todd, because they had taught me about mentoring. I consider those older brothers they're actually considered to be my mentors, because they didn't mentor me, but they was a part of my transition into becoming the man that I am. So, I definitely got to give credit to Lance, Todd, Pretty Tony. You got an up-and-coming filmmaker, that I grew up calling him Spoon, but his name is Luke Stevens, who is dominating the film industry. You got a prolific speaker by the name of Greg X. Greg X is the modern day Minister Farrakhan. Then I gotta give credit, to my street family, my man Black, Leroy Green, from out of South Jamaica, B Lover, a couple other guys that had told me that hustling just wasn't the street, but anything that you do is gonna be a hustle. Because you're not hustling, you said for today, you're trying to hustle to make life a little bit better for tomorrow. Then I had a chance to meet, you better have Miss Alice, Limitless Entertainment. And you and her got together to put on something positive. I have never been to an African American museum that was based upon the military. And then to actually break dinner, the 5-star meals and so forth, that was crazy.
Okay. Mr. Sammyo, it seems you have a little bit of literature coming out, huh? Yes, sir. Could you please tell us, get a little background about that? Tell us where we can find that. How we can get it.
You can find it. I'm on Amazon, but I'm also on Harlem's own Sammyo. And that's my website. You can go to my website, but you can also go to Amazon, The Making of a Legend, and punch in Sammyo, and it should pop right up.
Okay.
But if you want to order a signed autograph copy, you have to go to Harlem on Sammyo, and I get it right out to you.
How do y'all like Northwest Florida so far, the Gulf Coast?
This is my first time coming to this part. I never knew that it existed, but you said Miami is Miami, but the beaches here is crazy. You got snow white sand. And y'all know what I'm talking about when I mention Snow White. I'm just saying that's how the sand look. I'm not in denial. That's how the sand look.
Yes.
I am looking forward to coming back again and again, not just for business, just to come down here, for like a week or so, I'm saying for pleasure. Because it's just the ambiance that's set here, the restaurants, the different genres, like music that's down here. And I mean, we out here in the water, and if you can zoom in, you can see white sands, they're just waiting.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Started from the bottom, now we here.
And the word to DJ Khaled, God did.
Yeah.
When nobody else believed in us as a whole of people, God did. Saying God didn't believe on us based on gender, based on ethnicity. God just believed in us because He had created us to be as one. We just chose to go our own separate ways and try to form our own identities. I like working with like the artists that had created hip hop, but I also like working with some of the newer artists. Two great friends of mine, Christian L, the R&B Ruger, and a very good friend of mine, the Black Santa, S-Type. They got a great song that you can find on BET for the video that's called Asking for Help. The song was created to speak about autism, but at the end of the day, there's never a problem with you asking anybody for help, but it's definitely not a problem with asking God for help. It was another artist that came from out of North Carolina, named Pacino. Pacino is a great lyricist. He reminds me of Rakim of the 80s, I'm saying, but 35 years later, you said Pacino got a good flow. I look at, quite a few people that I met along the way that were just great. Some of the artists that we had singing today, was like, wow. When they came out, like the live instruments with the guitars, the young lady that was on the piano killed it. I like how everybody came out there today to support each other. It wasn't based on any type of competition.
Yeah, this wind is I know it's knocking my audio out.
You can follow me on Instagram, ogsammyo. I'm on Instagram, and we did, and I got a song out for my movie that we're gonna release, and my song is sung by Tom Gist, Tomgist, and the name of the song is Legendary. Look it up, listen to it, and get in touch with me and tell me how you like it.
Any words of advice for any upcoming artists that may be trying to get where you are, Mr. McGriff?
Your only competition is the person that's inside the mirror. Don't worry about what the next person is doing. Focus on you and try to be a better you tomorrow than the you that you was today.
All right. And anyway, if you don't want anybody to get a hold of you or somebody get a hold of somebody who get a hold of you, any information you'd like to give people, the plug.
If they want to get in contact with me, they can get in contact with me through you, because if it wasn't for you, then how could they get in contact with me? I don't want to negate you out of anything.
All right, appreciate that. Well, thank y'all for coming here and helping us out. It's much love, and we hope to continue this relationship and, stronger bonds and grow together even more.
Definitely.
Thank you.
Y'all have a good time.
Thank you. We will.